And we're live again. Yay. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
This is cool. I love that we get to show up and talk about all the things.
Yeah.
And today, what are we talking about, Brooke?
Strategy, baby. It's all about strategy.
It's something that I bang on about quite a lot, and I know you do too.
Yes, yeah. And often one of those parts of business that people don't really like to talk about as well and to really dive into. So that's why we thought the juicy one first to throw off and talk about. Jump straight on in.
Absolutely. And I have to say, whenever I hear the word strategy, I do think of I've earned millions of dollars, follow this XYZ strategy. And if you do this thing, this is going to be the outcome. But it doesn't matter if you're an individual person. And that's not what we're here about today.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Awesome. Glad we're on the same page.
Yeah. Sinead's just asked if we've got uniforms. We were joking before we got on about how similar.
I know, and it if I was just to wear my top, we'd be almost spot on, and we had no idea. Subconscious, baby.
Always.
All right. Did you want to get us started, Brooke? About let's remind everyone about our 3 pillars, and then we can dive into the whole strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are going to be jumping in and talking to you over the next few weeks about the 3 foundational pillars that we work on and work with here at Laura Elkaslassy and Co. So we've got energy, we've got strategy, and we've got profitability. So hopefully you can see that beautiful little Venn diagram up in front of you there. And all 3 of these pillars are essential, absolutely essential for your wealth creation and for your wealth expansion. And as we've mentioned previously, so often we normally will see businesses that have 2 out of these 3, and there's normally that one that's missing. And you can have success with 2 out of 3 of these, but you will never be reaching that full potential that is available to you. And having all 3 of these pillars is that, I guess, that sweet spot, being able to have that business you love and receive the wealth and not have to make it such a big effort. So yeah, energy, profitability, strategy. And so we're talking today to you about strategy, but I wanted to bring this up just to show you what happens when we don't have strategy in as one of those pillars. So if we just have energy and profitability, and I can tell you firsthand that it's absolute burnout is where you
So
get.
can I.
Burnout central, baby. Because I have had my previous experience of having the energy and being completely aligned with everything I was doing and calling in the clients and the profitability, the money was rolling in and launching after launching after launching. And it was actually a conversation I had with Laura, actually, that she possibly remembers. And she was like, how long can you keep launching for? How can you keep doing it? Where's the strategy? I'll be fine until I hit absolute burnout. And it normally is burnout because it comes from nowhere and just knocks you senseless, because you've got to have that strategy as well to be able to continue to regulate your energy and your profitability and to be able to have all 3 working for you. As I said, you can have business success with 2 out of 3, but if you're running with energy and profitability, there's only a finite amount of time that you continue before you hit that burnout.
Yep. And then we've got the energy and strategy component. So, a person feels completely aligned with what it is that they're doing, knows what the strategy is, but the profitability ain't there. And that's when we show up, we love what we do, but we work endless hours. We know what the outcome should be for our business, and that, we see our revenue increase, but do we see our profitability increase? It doesn't happen. Instead, that's where all of our money goes out of control. Yeah. Especially our expenses.
Yeah, that's when you normally see a lot of coaches saying that they've cracked $1 million worth of sales, but what they don't actually tell you is their expenses were $900K. So they've got the energy and they've got the strategy and they're making the sales, but yeah, they've got out of control expenses. They have no profitability in their business.
Absolutely. And then what's the other side of that? It's the profitability and the strategy, but no energy, baby.
Yeah, that's when you have those mindset wobbles. You can know everything you need to do. You can have your system set up. You can have everything, your pricing, so you've got that profitability factor there. But every moment, your movement you're making, there's those mindset wobbles. There's those gremlins. There's those questioning, comparing yourself to everyone else that's out there. Yeah, it's absolute mindset hell. Actually, if you just have those two, you've got to have that energy component. You really need to have your energetic mindset around money and have those three. They're just such important pillars.
They sure are. And this is what we do. We bring these three pillars together: the profitability, the energy, and the strategy in every single thing that we do with business owners to then bring that wealth creation so that it's all aligned and it looks as beautiful as this Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Awesome. But today we're here to talk about the strategy component.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Because as I said when we started, it is such an important pillar, but it's also one that is sometimes quite uncomfortable to talk about, because people, like Laura said, people want to, what's the strategy I have to follow? I'm coming to see you. I want you to tell me what's the strategy so I can be successful. What's the strategy, Laura?
It does happen a lot. And I guess this is the biggest thing, is that you as the business owner, you get to decide. You are an individual, you are unique. The way that you show up is different to someone else. And what I want to get out of my business is different to what you want to get out of your business. And so there is no one strategy that everyone can follow and have the same results. And this is where we get so disheartened, because you look outside of yourself and go, well, this person's doing, has this click funnel, and then you follow that and the outcome's this, and they make all this money and it's really profitable and they seem to be doing amazingly. But you try and replicate that yourself and it's not your jam. It's not something that you even really want to be doing, or it's totally not aligned with your energy, then it's not going to work.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's really finding and understanding all the different strategies that are available, but also what resonates with you, what's aligned with you. Know what your outcome is, and so you're able to then bring in the strategy that brings you that outcome that you're after.
Absolutely. There are some strategies that we recommend all businesses should implement. And yes, I'm using the word should, which I try and avoid. But through our many years of working with businesses, there's just some fundamental, frameworks that should be in place. And you're not going to be surprised when I start by saying that, on which side am I? Profit first is one of them. And profit first is what deals with the money, but it's not another cash flow thing. It's not a software. It's none of that. It's the mindset. It's the behavior of who we are as human beings and how we show up and deal with our money and that sort of stuff. It takes the stress away, and it means it's one less thing that you have to worry over, so that you can really start making that difference in your business.
Yeah, absolutely. Profit first definitely encompasses all of those pillars that we talk about. It's the energetic mindset. It's the strategy that you need to bring the profitability into your business. So yeah, and profit first is one of those strategies that we would recommend you implement in your business, no matter where you are in your business, whether you are just starting out or wherever you are in that journey. It is one of those strategies which, is an absolute, it's like a light bulb moment, like a light bulb strategy. When people actually implement it, they're like, oh my goodness, why did I not do this earlier? Yeah, it's like,
well, we're humans.
Yeah.
What's the other thing that we do? I know that a number of people come to me and go, yeah, okay, but how do I identify who I am and how I show up to my business and what strategy is actually going to work for me? How would you answer that, Brooke?
Well, first we have to understand where you're at in your business. And so where we like to start is having a look at it's called the Wheel of Success. It brings in all the different elements of your business and where you're at with them. And so often where we need to start in our business is the areas that we've been avoiding. So the Wheel of Success actually has a look at all the different components of what a healthy, successful business should look like. And we can then identify which ones really do need that extra attention, that extra love, and look at the strategies that then work with that. Because, as I say, it's so often, I'm sure you'd agree, Laura, when we have a client come into that coaching space, they're like, okay, well, I want to work on this, this, and this. because that's what they like working on. That's what's fun for them. That's where they find that enjoyment. And then when we actually begin to look at that wheel of success, it's like, well, actually your marketing or, this area or that area. And they're like, oh, but I don't really enjoy it. So that's why it's not getting that love and attention. So it really is an individual process of understanding where you are in your business, what aspect of your business needs that attention, again, depending on the outcome that you're wanting to achieve as well.
And just on the wheel of success as well, is it's not like what you're used to. So some of the areas are you aware of what your purpose is? Do you feel the peace of mind in your business? Is sales an area, or is it profitability? Because they're very different, as Brooke spoke about before. Is it marketing? Is it sales? Is it money? But money in terms of how your relationship with money is. And we've got a number of different areas that we guide you to, in terms of asking questions, so that you can then determine your lowest score to then concentrate on in your business. It doesn't mean that it's not all doom and gloom and that it's difficult. So therefore, you're not really going to want to do it. We will find the strategy that works for you in the way that you show up in your business for those areas that need the most love. And we definitely start there.
Yeah. And then what so often happens is you find that love for those aspects that you had been avoiding, looking at the different strategies. As Laura said, it's not about saying, okay, well, you're avoiding this, so let's get into the nitty gritty and like really start. You're just going to have to deal with it. It is, okay, what strategy is going to work for you? How can you bring that love and attention in and recreate what you want to have your business to be and to do? Because as we've said before, it's about loving the business you have. Yeah. Do you love your business? We want you to fall in love with your business, not just fall in love with what your business can provide you. It's actually, we want both of those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, it may even be that we notice that the focus that you need to work on is the money. You don't really know how you're showing up to your money or what the driving force is behind you. And that's where, us working with the sacred money archetypes could be a really good option. And if, you're wanting to know more about what your top, 2, 3 are and how they interact in your business, and could that possibly be what's holding you back, the clarity around that, and then how to harness that energy and move forward can be an absolute game changer. Whereas, other clients may need strategies around their pricing, because that's the one area that is really not being focused on and where the key to profitability lies.
Absolutely. And it could just be a whole needing just to throw everything on the table too and have a look at what actually you're offering. What are your key offerings? What is that signature offering that you want to do? Again, we see like businesses having multiple offerings because they've got this idea and that idea. And again, that's that energy and profitability part without the strategy. And so it's looking at everything across the board as well. Okay, what is that achievement? What's the outcome you want to achieve, so we can support you with the correct strategy to get you there.
Absolutely. And I love that comment, Najma. Thank you. Najma's just said, definitely amazing working with the Wheel of Success, and it showed her exactly what areas she was weak in, and that gave a starting point. And yeah, it's so good to know where to start, because oftentimes we're just throwing the spaghetti at the wall, hoping something's going to stick, and that, magic bullet is going to be there, and we're going to have all of the things that we envisioned at the beginning of our business.
Yeah.
The other strategies that we want to ensure are in place for people is the income tracking.
Yeah.
How powerful is income tracking?
It is absolutely. Again, it's another game changer. And when I've always, like, all my clients are like, are you tracking your income? Where are you at? And they're like, what do you mean? Like, I have to actually track it? Because not only is it that strategy part, but it also brings in that energy, because so often we can have a bit of we don't really want to see the numbers, or we don't keep track of the numbers. Whereas when we start to track it, we can understand exactly what's happening within ourselves as well, and what's happening within our business. It completely changes everything. You can have those goals, you can have those outcomes you want to create in terms of your sales and income, and to track it, you can see exactly where you are at any time of the month.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I can see Shanae's dropped a comment Same. I didn't think that the Wheel of Success would work out the way it did. It's so interesting. We have assumptions about how something's going to go as well. And, you know, we're so used to being told what to do, but what it is giving you the focus to then tap into what you know about yourself anyway and how you best show up and deliver your service, your offering, and that sort of stuff. It's not trying to find another thing that's going to fix all of, you know, the perceived issues that you have that generally aren't there. We just seem to create stories around. But that's for another live. We're not going to go into that now.
But I do love that, because that is how we work with strategy. It's not about, coming to us and saying, okay, well, I want to make more sales. And we say, well, here you go on the plate. Here's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to follow. Yeah, it's about giving you that, as like absolutely using those questions and prompts to be able to uncover what you truly need.
Absolutely. And let's just talk, as I touched on the sacred money archetypes. But, you know, I find that archetypes is something that people are either familiar with or not. But where I see things fall over is it's inspirational to know things, and it's another thing to know how to use and leverage your innate self, really, to have those changes and impact into your business to bring in the money and the profitability. And that's definitely something that we do differently. Yes, you can find out what it is, but it's more, well, what's the next step? What needs to happen? If you show up and you're a maverick, for example, like I am, I'm huge on risk taking. Doesn't bother me. You know, if you asked how high is your risk taking, it's very high. And so not feeling bad about that. Do you know what I mean? And instead, okay, well then if that's innately me, I'm going to show up and I'm going to make these decisions. I'm going to take the risks, and it's going to all work out, and that's all right. Whereas it could, you know, you could be an accumulator, and it's more about having all the savings and a certain amount put aside. And until that's there isn't the feeling of safety that you can make a decision, or if a decision goes wrong or a strategy that you put in place doesn't turn out in the way that you think it will, it doesn't matter, because you're harnessing that archetype.
Absolutely. Well, it is. It's those insights that are able to help you understand why you make the decisions you make, or why you are uncomfortable making the decisions that you want to make as well. Because it's depending on that archetype, that those top 3 and definitely that top 1 really can affect and change the strategies that you're going to use and utilize in your business. It's such a powerful knowledge to bring in. Yeah.
Without a doubt. The other, I guess, tool that we use is a methodology called Fix This Next, and that is about knowing and being able to identify the areas. And so if you're not familiar with Fix This Next, it's a book by Mike McCullough. You're not surprised, I know, but it's being able to identify your business hierarchy of needs. So we know Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This is the business version of that. And there are different sort of elements within that, such as sales, profit, order, impact, and legacy. And through running through this with you, we can able to pinpoint exactly which area of your business is the thing, your oxygen needed, and your safety and water and all of that, to be able to then make really good decisions and have that impact.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you're spending all of your energy trying to get your systems and everything in place, but you actually have no sales coming in, it's okay, well, why are you spending all that energy there? Well, let's get back to sales as that base. You need to have sales coming in. And so it's really understanding what you need. As Laura said, what is your oxygen? Where are you at? And it's not like a level that once you get to the top of the legacy, then you've won, you're at the top.
You're done.
You're done, you made it. It's something you continually reassess and keep moving through. You can go up, you can come back down, you can go, and depending where you are. So it's always evolving, it's always moving, and understanding exactly where you are at that point in time in your business.
Absolutely. So we've been talking about strategy for a bit of time now. I'm conscious of that. And I know, like, the last time I did a live with someone, I thought it'd be 10 minutes and it was an hour later, and we're not going to do that. But we did want to jump in here to highlight different strategies that are available to businesses, and also to explain how we can work with people. And so in the chat, we're going to in the comments, we're going to pop in some links. If you're curious to know more about what it is that we do, then feel free to book in a curiosity call with either one of us. We also have a number of different packages available, from the Sacred Money Archetypes to the Get Shit Done Accelerator, which I know is where I spend a lot of my time, as well as a number of other things. So jump in if you've got questions or you want to know something about strategy for your business. Ask away. We'd love to answer, and we definitely will come back.
Yeah, absolutely. If you've got a question, feel free to put it in the comments here, or you can send us a PM as well. But if you do have, it's good to put the comments in, the questions in the comments as well, because if you've got that question, so often there's many other people that also have the exactly same question as well. So if you ask it here, then
you're not alone.
Yeah, absolutely. We can answer it for you and everyone else who wants to know the same answer. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thanks, Brooke. I've loved hanging out with you. And thank you, everyone, for being here and for all of the comments. We will be back. Well, we will not be back. Brooke will be back next week. Do you want to just give them a quick rundown of what's coming?
Absolutely. Next Wednesday, I will be with you here on this page live. It'll be 9 a.m. West Australian time, 11 a.m. Eastern States time. And it's talking all about the pillar of energy. So I'm going to be diving into exactly what that looks like, what that is about, how that can affect your business and change your business. And so if you've got any questions also about that, make sure you come along, or you can send them through to me and I can answer on the call too. But yeah, energy, that pillar of energy absolutely is, again, one of those foundational parts. And then the following week, we are back again to talk about the last pillar of profitability. And exactly how that will also change your wealth creation, wealth expansion.
And how they all connect, which is what we're all about. So feel free to send through an email as well, jump on our website and ask any questions. You can even PM the page and let us know if you're there's something you're thinking about that you think that we can address. We are more than happy to do that. So send it on through.
Yes. Any questions? If you have anything about especially with energy coming up next week, profitability the week after, or even about strategy, we can come back and touch on that too. Happy to riff about any of that, any questions you've got.
Beautiful. See you, everyone.
Wonderful. Thanks for hanging out with us again.
Bye.